It's so important to tell a story like that.
Yeah.
That's why we opened that.
Nobody talks about that, but it's really something that is really happening. So that's why we want to make a movie out of it.
Can you tell me a little bit about your cinematic influences, like some of the films you were interested in emulating?
Well, one of our main inspiration is the French movie called La Haine by Mathieu Kassovitz, but also obviously a City of God Brazilian movie. And Scorsese, Spike Lee, of
and
course.
Oliver Stone.
Yeah, so that's the kind of movie.
We grew up with Hollywood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hollywood auteur cinema, you know, so people that can really technically be very cool, but also tell something important. So that's what we tried to achieve, I hope.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to open it up to the audience. Anybody have any questions? There's one right here. You find them.
Well, you know, in Belgium, when you watch television or movies and cinemas, it's all white, full of white people.
Yeah, you think the world is white.
You know, every public figure, every famous people, they're all white. And so you don't find in acting school actors of other origins. And we had to get them off the streets, actually.
So we really did like street casting and we searched and we gathered like 450 young people and we did 4 months of intensively casting and there we found that there are 16 actors.
16 diamonds who it's the first time they play in a movie, they don't have any schooling. Thank you. It's awesome. It's too bad it couldn't be here, but it's really wonderful and we hope that they will play now in a shitload of other movies.
Yeah. For example, Martha, she was obsessed by the book and obsessed by the character, and she found her own way to the casting, and she was just the best actress we ever saw in our life.
Best experience ever. We hardly had to give any directing stuff, you know, directing. It was just perfect, and Abu Bakr, who plays Marwan, it was
a pain in the ass.
It was really a little shit that we found in a school full of Moroccans and really giving us a hard time.
I hated big mouth.
I hated him for the first second I saw him, you know, but then we said, yeah, if you have such a big mouth, come over and do an audition, and
he came, he played it, and
he came, he saw it, conquered. So yeah, I couldn't believe that little shit. I would love him, you know, I would hug him,
but we love him like a little brother.
Yeah, it's like sometimes we give him some punches, but yeah.
Hi, sorry, I don't have a very big voice.
No, it's okay.
But,
It's okay. I'll repeat it.
Okay, good.
So what projects do you have lined up next?
Well, there's one of, unless Will Smith calls us for Bad Boys 3.
Be there. And we will play
or
Bad
Fresh
Boys.
Prince the movie. Well, in Belgium, we are planning actually to make a movie about young Moroccans, young Belgian people going to fight in Syria for ISIS, and it's really Belgium has the highest percentage of ISIS fighters per capita. It's about 37 for every 100,000 people. The second country in the world is Denmark with 15. So there's something special about Belgium, main export product.
And the most come out of my home place.
Yeah,
so I know a lot of people that went, and families and mothers that cried.
Yeah, so it's
like really close to us.
Yeah, and 85% of those fighters are Moroccans, and it's really something very personal to us. So that we thought if we don't tell that story, who else is going to tell them in our country? So that's one day we'll make a romantic comedy, you know, something not as bad. Actually,
it's not always heavy.
Heavy, but that's the first immediate thing. Okay.
So the questions were, what challenges do you face making this film, and also the killer, was he a child soldier?
Well, challenge was like, you know, making a movie for us like going to war. We don't have we don't have a lot of money, but we always want to make like big Hollywood-like shit.
Yeah, it's got to be epic.
So
it deserves on the big screen.
Yeah,
you know?
but also, you know, we wanted to be realistic and really to shoot in the neighborhoods where all those gangs are active. So if you come with a camera crew, well, first, sometimes you're gonna have a guy from a gang with a knife saying he's gonna stab one of the white people from the crew. And we are chill because we're not white, so it's okay. But sometimes you also have Moroccan guys who started to fight against us, and because they think that the story is about a Moroccan girl and a black guy until they know it's the other way around.
Yeah,
then
the next day they came and they said, sorry, we thought it was a Moroccan girl with a black guy.
Very
but
absurd.
It's a black girl with a Moroccan guy. It's okay.
And you have also 16 young people, you know, who are really, you know, very talented, but they have to learn how to be professional and be on time and work with a crew and not have relationship with each other during the shoot of the movie.
It was guerrillas.
Yeah. So that's what the challenge is, and
it was a guerrilla style of filmmaking.
or like the sequence with the Back to Black song. Well, that was really a pain in the ass to make it and to fix that song. It's actually the Amy Winehouse's dads had to see the sequence and give us the permission for that song. But we couldn't do it when she was sniffing coke, but right
after that shot, we put the music on.
But we are the last ever in the world that can use that song, he said. So that was difficult. And then the second question, what was it again?
The X is a child soldier.
From the
Yeah.
video, he was looking back into a video
Yeah.
in 1998, I believe.
It says.
Yeah, there was a war going on
Yeah, it was.
in Uganda.
Yeah, child soldier from
Exactly.
Uganda, from LRA. That's what we try to, because the author of the book he wrote previously to that one, to Black, was about child soldiers in Uganda. So he used his research he did to create that character of X. And it's also the truth that a lot of the leaders in the gangs, in the African gangs in Brussels, are ex-child soldiers. So that's why they're traumatized, but also that's also why the violence for them is something, they are used to, they're normal, and for us it was important to sort of try to point out why that character is like he is.
So he's bad, but in some way
He's a victim of something.
he's a victim
that
of
happened
his
to him.
past.
Right here in the center.
People, I think, were born to tell stories and to make movies, and you two are definitely born to do that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We really had to do it.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, thank you. It's good because otherwise we would be homeless people. So otherwise we can be Calvin Klein models. That's how people. So if it doesn't work out.
I look forward to your future films. I'm going to look for them, and I'm going to look for your names because you guys really had an impact on me tonight.
Thanks,
Thank you very much, man. Thank you. I love you, man.
And we're gonna make a lot of movies,
Special for you.
Okay, we have time for one more. Is there?
Well, it's because the story, we always say it's a Romeo and Juliet story set in the gangs of Brussels, but actually it's a Juliet story. It is really Mavella's story. She's the main character. She was the main character in the book. The author met the real Mavella. She really exists. She didn't die like in the movie. And
so we follow her in the movie.
yeah,
We stay with her.
and we wanted to follow her as much as possible. So that's why in the first rape scene we follow what she feels, what she's going through, because it's her guilt, it's her emotions, and
So when she's locked in behind the door, we stay with her because then you stay with Mavella. She's the soul of the film. She's the.
And it's also when she is victim of that. That's the core of the movie, is the whole evolution and the whole thing that she goes through, and that's why we always stay as much as we can with her, and the focus is on her, and we chose in the editing process to to lessen all the rest of the scenes. Although we had some bigger scenes, we had more gang-related scenes, but the core of the movie was Mavella and the love story. Thank you.
Okay, well, I want to thank these guys so much for coming and bringing the film.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're gonna do freestyle.
Yeah.